Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good morning. Yeah, it's about 3:30 Singapore time on Wednesday, and for a lot of you guys, it's probably a late Tuesday evening or early Tuesday, well, something. Anyway, that's the time. So at the beep, here we go. Yeah, so we're going to cover three things today. One is the Guns of Glory strike, which currently is being organized. Let's use that word loosely, by the top quote spenders of that game. So we've got that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about game censoring, which is kind of what you're seeing in front of you. And then the last thing that we're going to talk about today is the global purchase price of items in-game or in-app purchases, and kind of who's to blame and how to work around it, and thoughts and ideas and some past history too as well that kind of makes more sense to me now. So let's just jump into the Guns of Glory strike. So what they're planning to do is they're planning to have a KVK sit out, which means that they're just not going to fight each other or something for a weekend. I don't know. I'm not sure how much message that's really going to send to the studio. I think that they probably need to work with somebody like me, hint, hint, in order to really effectively communicate their message and the things that they need. However, I'm a game developer, not for King Vavilon, my own game, and I'm kind of in the middle on this, because I can wear both hats. I know what it's like to be a player in a game, maybe even a top player, some might say. And I know what it's like to be a game developer. Kind of, sort of, getting there. And so I understand both sides of the fence, and I'm kind of in the middle. And my perspective on this is very simple. Okay, some of their complaints and their things is like 2 years of updates smashed into 9 months. It's expensive. The game is pay to win, and, all of these different things that they're crying and complaining about. But here's the problem. How do you fix it? Okay? The devaluation of the old updates, it's already happened. It's not like you can just magically take the price back up. You can't do it. Okay? Next month, there's going to be an update. Now, next month, how much should the update cost? You see, this is the problem. So you've got really basically 3 tiers of spenders. You've got low, mid, and the big spenders. And so if the update is cheap, then the big spenders are going to be grumpy because, they don't have something to basically, pay a lot of money and smash on other people for. So you've got that. If the mid spenders are happy, then the low spenders or the big spenders are maybe not happy. So you basically got 3 different tiers of players that you can kind of target to. And in King of Avalon and Guns of Glory, they kind of do their, let's call it best effort in order to cater to big spenders without trying to really abuse the small players as much as possible. And they've been getting better at this, admittedly, unfortunately, something like that. So the big spenders are getting less value, but they're spending more money, whatever. So you've got this. Now, let's get back to their strike. Let's say that they get the studio's attention. What could they possibly get from this? Next update is going to be, there's going to be a spending update next month. That's just it. There's no way they can stop that. If they stop that, there's no revenue for the game. If there's no revenue for the game dies, because that is Fun Plus, King of Avalon, Guns of Glory, Z-Day, and the new reskin clone coming out, a 4th one, I know, coming out is all about. That is their business model. And if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense, and they're not interested in it. So if you want Guns of Glory to die, go ahead, stop spending. I don't mind. I think that air blimp thing just drives me crazy, and I couldn't possibly care less whether it dies or not. It's not because I don't love you guys in the Guns of Glory community. It's just, you should have known what you were getting into when you started playing the game. I have told everybody, and okay, granted, I'm probably not the most popular Guns of Glory YouTuber out there. You guys don't have somebody like me in that community really being vocal and calling things out and trying to keep things in a line. Okay, but it's a pay-to-win game. Almost every mobile game is pay-to-win. You guys should know this by now. So when you said, okay, what should we do? Should we just throw away our money? Your money's already thrown away. Okay, people are looking at this game as like an investment. It's not an investment. These games are not like you buy something and it retains its value. I have been bent over harder than any of you guys. The amount that I've been bent over is probably 2 or 3 of you guys put together, squished together, bent over again, and then all over. So in terms of like being grumpy about devaluation, there's a couple things I could be a little bit grumpy about. Dragon intensity crystals, dragon experience, it's one of those things where this is what you're into. I mean, it's like you might as well go to the casino, take the money, just throw it on the table and walk away. That's what King of Avalon is. That's what Guns of Glory is. That's what Z-Day is. That's what these games are. And that's what all these mobile games are. So what could they possibly do to fix this? Well, there probably isn't much anything that they could possibly do. Seriously. They've got 3 categories of spenders, and they can't make you all happy at the same time. And as they transition away from catering to the big spenders, more to the mid spenders, big spenders are going to get pissed off. And yeah, that's what we're seeing now. So by all means, have a strike. By all means, get the attention of the studio. But you also have to realize that the damage is done. You guys are just bent over. Just either take it and keep playing, or, wah, and just, I don't know. So now we're going to move on to the fun part of the video. Okay, here we go. And this is super controversial. I'm going to tell you how things are in King of Scamelon, and then I'm going to tell you my idea on how I maybe kind of want to try and fix this. I don't know. I really need your feedback on this, especially you Americans, because Americans believe in like this freedom of speech BS. And like, there isn't really a lot of other countries in the world that kind of believe in this. They've got this like pseudo freedom of speech, but it's not really freedom of speech. And even America is kind of like pseudo freedom of speech, because it's really freedom of speech when it doesn't offend other people. But when it does, boy, you're going to get it. I mean, like, forgive me, I'm not supportive of this. But the people who are the, what's their group called? Anyway, let's just call it the hate groups, okay? We'll just say that the hate groups, they want to go out and they want to just talk about their hate. It's their belief, that's their feeling. In a true freedom of speech kind of philosophy, they could go out and just spew this nonsense, all over the place. But either at a society level or at some level, they're going to be censored. I know that Discord actually stopped allowing these groups to have their discussions in their little groups because the hate talk was, the American government shut it down. I'm not for it. I'm not saying this is a good or bad thing. I'm just saying that the censoring and the freedom of speech that we think that we have, maybe we don't have, and maybe it's a good thing. All right, now let's go into that. So here we go. I'm going to show you some of these global king messages that I've been capturing for the past couple of months. And this is really one of the dumbest features that Chit Plus made in terms of a feature that just had absolutely, man, they really weren't thinking when they made this. But okay, whatever, let's jump into it. So you can see some of these things that probably would get past a filter because they got slang and they got interesting spellings. Okay, well, that one was just quality. Here we have it again. And things like this, where it's like, I don't have a translate button. What's the usability on this? How do I actually know what this Chinese guy said? I was kind of curious. So I circled it and I'm like, what's it say? I mean, I could take the image, I could upload it into a Chinese character recognition program, and I could do all these extra things. Or they could just give me a button on the side there that says translate, and I could understand what he's saying. But did they do that? No, they didn't. And so here we just have basic profanity. They advertise the game as being child-friendly. I mean, the game is advertised as being for the ages between 1 and 10. Some people over the age of 10 actually play the game, at least that's their age. Their mentality, not so much, self-included. Yeah. So, I'm just saying that they advertise this as family-friendly and things like that. They censor the word lust, but yet there's a king title named Lust. Like afterthought, forethought, like trying to give this some thought, guys. And I mean, there's things like this where people type that. Okay, let's just quickly go through the rest of these. And let me talk about how I think there might be a solution to this. Because I think there's a nice balance between allowing people to just basically say whatever the hell they want and not offending other people. And it's really simple. See, look at this. Isn't this just quality? This is the quality things that these people, and I do agree, we definitely should have an Algerian flag. These are, this is my favorite. I'm just going to leave this up for now. So, these are the things that people want to say. Okay, we should let them say it, but in the right audience. So in my game, I know shameless self-promotion, All right. You're basically, you have no kingdom chat, you have no spam like this. This stuff doesn't exist. You search for the kind of group that you want. Okay, say you're into playing mobile games. Say you're into baseball, sports, beers, drinking, guns, whatever. In those groups, It's your friends. Okay? People who are in there should have an understanding, an idea of the context and the type of conversations that are happening. Now, say you go into a recent topic, gay-friendly group, and you start talking hate. People report you. That report, you get kicked out of the group. You're going to get karma minused from your account. And people who reported you are going to get positive karma if it turned out to be true. If they false report you, it's going to be negative karma for them. And it's all context, okay? So sometimes the word boobs might be okay, and other times the word boobs could offend somebody. And you have to know when is the appropriate time for you to say that. Because if you're amongst all your friends, all your beer, your beer drinking buddies, and you guys are talking, and it's just that locker room talk, it's totally okay. Nobody reports you. You're good to go. You go into a different group and you start talking this nonsense, and that's when it becomes a problem. And that's how I think I'm going to do it. It's going to be a self-censoring system. So people who report you, they're obviously going to get rewarded for reporting negative behavior, but they're also going to get hit for false reporting. So it's going to hopefully it's going to reduce the impact on moderators, because I don't think that support, we can handle all this. So we're going to have a large moderator system. Again, moderators welcome to apply, for trying to handle these kinds of, situations. And I haven't seen any chat platform doing this really well yet. I think that you can report things in like WeChat, you can report things in other different communication platforms, but what's the response? Like, what really happens? What are your choices? So I think that when somebody gets reported enough times as being offensive, they just get muted. And that's going to be the bottom line, end of it. So they're going to have their account, which maybe they love playing the game, or maybe they just want to go around trolling people. Either way it goes, they're just going to be muted in the game. Not for a little while, but for a long time. And those mutes are going to be good mutes, by meaning that they've been screened and vetted in the context, in terms of, okay, you got muted, but it was for a legit reason, not just flippantly. Okay, feedback welcome. I really need your feedback on these things, guys, because I have to nail it. I really, really want a platform where people can be social and have fun. And if you want to be like profane and rude, do it in your group, in your circle, and as long as everybody's cool with it, have at it. Go ham. Say anything you want, as long as it doesn't offend anybody. Okay, last thing. Recently I posted about in-app purchases and game prices and global pricing, and some of it was fair, some of it wasn't fair. So for the people who are in countries that now get discounts, congratulations to you. Yay, maybe you love me. And for the people who had price increases, I'm so sorry, not sorry. Yeah, it is what it is. So I'm running out of time. I just want to briefly mention on this because it is important. So I haven't done in-app purchasing in my game yet. So I'm kind of, let's just say, ignorant about it. But as I'm starting to like the other day, I made that post and I was like, hey, wait a second here. Let me read about this. So there's 2 points that I need to kind of state. So Apple, it will allow you to set 99 cents, but it's not a true American dollar 99 cents. Because in other countries there's taxes, and those taxes get hidden. So what happens is the developer, let's say they set it to 99 cents. That's what Apple plans to give the developer. So in other countries where the 99 cents, due to poor exchange rates or taxes or things like that, that 99 cents will still go to the developer. Developer will get it, but the user gets shafted because they have to pay more because of the hidden taxes. So when you do the perfect currency conversion, it doesn't work out, and that's why. I didn't look on Google and I didn't look on Amazon. It's probably a similar situation there. And the only way for you to work around that for iOS that I'm aware of is for you to create a second product. So say you have US gold, UK gold, France gold, all these different types of gold. You need to create a second product in order to adjust the price so that it would be more like a true American dollar price and have a unilateral true American 99 cents. And that way some people don't pay more than others. That is the only way that I found that you could work around it. Second problem, and this goes back 2 years. So King of Evelyn used to have a serious problem with people doing refund scams. And what happened is they'd buy a product, they'd wait a week, they'd refund it. They'd get to keep the product, they'd buy it again, they'd use the money that they did for refunding it, and they'd buy something again, and they just kept doing this. And so it was quite a problem until I'd say July of 2017. I think that was when I think that's when it got cut off. So July of 2017, they kind of started putting, the hard brakes on it. So the refund scam. And the reason for that is it's very simple. So when you make an in-app purchase, you are supposed to instantly get the item that you purchased. Okay, that's just common sense. That's how things are set up. But on the publisher and the game developer side of it, what happens if you refund? And the answer to that is they don't get notified. So if you bought something for $100 and then you refunded it, their bank account, it's minus $100, but they didn't get notified. That in-app thing that you got before was supposed to be taken away. And in fact, Apple says you can't take it away. It's against their policy. I know, that's pretty effed up, isn't it? So the only thing they can do is they can hit future purchases. See, that's why they're doing the system. And it's a very reasonable way to deal with things. I'm all for it. And it kind of points to kind of a deficiency in the Apple system, but it also kind of protects the consumers at the same time. So I'm not sure how to feel about that. The only solution that I've come to in my thinking on this is really simple. So the only thing that gives you notifications if someone cancels is the subscription policies. So if you have a subscription in iOS and you cancel it, then the studio gets a notification. So you canceled it. Okay. And, you can appropriately cut services, cut the services that were being provided. But this is the only way that you can actually, you can do that. And I'm like, wow, how will I deal with a refund scam in my game? Okay, people buy, in my game, it's not going to be buying power. You can't, just buy 1 million power and then refund it. It's going to be cosmetic items, but still, it's, I want people to be rewarded and punished, obviously, for negative, or false behavior. And so I've got a lot of things in my mind. I definitely won't have any gambling simulator. There's not going to be like open chest and like this random chance to get stuff. It's going to be very direct. This is the skin you want to buy and it's 99 cents, and then you buy it and you get it. There's not going to be any question about it. I mean, if you say you didn't get your item, we look in the inventory, it says it's either there or it's not. It's going to be really, really simple and direct. No games, no hidden agenda, no none of that. But if people are going to be refund scamming me, how do I deal with that? So I'm thinking about moving everything over to a subscription model. There's still going to be free play. There's still going to be subscription, or there's still going to be pure strategy. Totally going to be free play. So a free player will actually be able to be successful in my game. Where will I make my money? Skins and pets, maybe mounts. And by this, I mean like, okay, your character looks basic. If you want the premium looking character, the premium aura, the banners and things like this, well, you pay a little bit of money. And I'm thinking about moving it to a model where it's just monthly. Like premium skins are unlocked for that month. And if you don't have the premium skin enabled, the premium skin subscription, well, you just revert back to the normal one. I don't think I've ever seen this done before, though. I really don't. So I'm kind of interested on your feedback for that. The mounts and the other thing, I think this is a little bit more straightforward because it won't kind of like, it's not as visually, it won't hit you. Like one day you were wearing a nice hat and the next day, your hat's gone. And you're like, hey, where'd my hat go? I canceled my subscription. I thought I could wear my hat. You're like, nah, can't. So that's a little bit gray area. But pets. So I'm thinking with pets is like you need to buy pet food every month. It won't be expensive, guys. Don't worry. It's not going to be like King of Avalon, like $10,000 updates every month for pets. No. It's going to be something like, very reasonable that most people can afford. But if you don't buy your pet food, what happens to your pet? We can't kill him. We can't off your little pet. We're probably just going to have him like, I don't even know if they'd run away. I think even that's like too like emotionally bad. I think we'll just like have your pet just go like have him sit in his like little doggy house or his little, cat bed or something like that. We'll just have him like, basically go off the screen. And then if you buy more pet food, maybe, he comes out and he plays again. He's all cute and adorable. Everything is normal. For your mount, maybe the same thing. So things like this, but subscription model. Actually, I'm trying to think of a way to move away from purchasing entirely and move only to subscription, but how I can survive doing it. You know, and it's like, can we do that? Will it work? Will people hate it? Are they okay with it? And I need your feedback on that. So this is one of those videos where I hope you guys leave lots and lots of comments telling me what you think, what you hate, what you love. Yeah, it's really a fishing for comments video. So, okay, love you guys, and bye-bye for now.